Diamond View is here. Join the Will County Black Diamond chapter of Top Ladies of Distinction for the Diamond View, a 5-part talk show series hosted by Dim Black Diamonds, featuring special guests and professionals discussing topics like mental health, it's okay not to be okay, employment, we'll get you back in the game and discover, do people really want to hire you? And entrepreneurship, tips on starting your dream business or how to keep your existing business relevant during the pandemic by pivoting. Check out the Diamond View. Join us on Facebook Live or YouTube. The Diamond View starts now. On tonight's episode, the virtual view, How Employable Are You, will help you land your dream job during the pandemic with employment tips from Dr. Akila Bradford of HR Consulting LLC. And now with Diamond Topics are our hosts, Lady Dion A. Tate, Stacey Minsker-Young, and Lady Maria Thompson.
Good evening. We are so happy to have each of you with us tonight. I am Lady Dion A. Tate, and I'm here with my co-hosts for the evening, Lady Stacey Minsker-Young and Lady Maria Thompson. On behalf of the Will County Black Diamond chapter of Top Ladies of Distinction Incorporated, where our president is Lady Verlena Lane, we welcome you to the Diamond View. Top Ladies of Distinction Incorporated is a humanitarian organization, and our motto is serving youth and adults. We want to thank you for your outpouring of support of our Diamond View series so far. For those of you who are new to our show, the Diamond View is the brainchild of the Status of Women Thrust, co-chaired by Lady Tishar Brock and Lady Moretta Smith, and the Health and Wellness Committee, co-chaired by Lady Karen Dilligard and Lady Beverly Nunn.
In January, we talked about mental health. Last month, we had a great discussion on love, and today we are going to talk about employment in this virtual world. We are excited about helping you land your dream job tonight, and next month we'll also speak about entrepreneurship. So continue to meet with us on Facebook Live or YouTube. The last month of each Monday of each month for the Diamond View.
And after each show, we want to hear from you. Please make sure you take our survey at the end of the episode. The link will be pinned in the post in the chat. And tonight, we have a special raffle for one lucky winner. You will win a free resume consultation with tonight's special guest, Dr. Akila Bradford of the HR Consulting LLC. So make sure you take that survey and leave your email address.
Right now, let's move to our diamond topic, ladies. Woohoo! So we're going back and forth thinking about like what's a hot topic right now. And actually there have been two. And as I was thinking about them, they kind of correlated with our first two episodes, one on mental health and the other one was on relationships. So the first one is Kirk Franklin and his son, right? His son records a private family conversation and puts it out to the world. Kirk Franklin has 2.3 million followers on Instagram. So of course he felt compelled to explain and apologize for what happened. But then when you talked about the therapy the family went through, you think about that weighed on their mental health, right? Then there was another story, Derek Jackson, who honestly I hadn't heard of until now, but he's supposed to be a relationship guru. So, right, our last show was about relationships, but he got caught cheating on his wife. Really? The guru. Okay, but things like that happen. And once again, he found himself in front of the camera having an interview, having to explain himself to his 1.3 million followers on Instagram. What do you all think about that?
Wow. So I think it's a lot. The whole Kirk Franklin situation. It's unfortunate because he is a celebrity figure. His son did leak that conversation, and unfortunately, his adult son, took his father there. There were words exchanged, which is never a good thing, but sometimes folks will take you there. But then this whole Derek Jackson situation, I was just like, well, what is this? Because, he's professing to be this relationship expert, but actually he's been lying and, in terms of just being looked at as a narcissist, and as a liar. And I just felt that he was really more concerned with his image, his brand, than really even, the opportunity to save his marriage. So, in the words of my children, he really fumbled the bag.
Right, Lady Maria, I totally agree. And I think even when he's on, when Derek is on giving his interview, speaking in third person, I've never heard of anyone giving an interview in a third person. So still, he needed to come to an interview coach on how to give an interview, because no one gives an interview in the third person. And then, of course, not preparing himself and his wife for the interview. You know what I mean? I think when you go on screen, whether it be the big screen or the virtual screen, you really need to make sure that you're prepared in terms of what you look like, because you never know how many times it's going to travel and who's going to see it. And the same, and I think even with Kirk Franklin, I think when he and his wife gave an interview, on the flip side, I think they looked very nice. They were very versed. They were really prepared for that interview. And I agree with Kirk Franklin, in the sense of this is a household conversation. This is not a social media conversation. And they've had some troubles for a long time now. And his son should have kept that inside instead of trying to hurt his dad on the outside. We didn't need to know all of that. And heck, he's human. You know what I mean? He may be singing the gospel, but he's still a human being, and human beings can only take so much.
Yep.
That is so true. I agree with both of you. But it how I said both of those correlated with our first show, our second show, but it even correlates with our show tonight, because like you said, Lady Stacey, preparing for interviews is really important, whether it's for, like a Kirk Franklin or the Derek Jackson interview, or if it's for an actual interview for a job. You have to be prepared. You have to, be prepared for it. You have to dress appropriately for it. Like a lot of people got on Derek Jackson's wife about wearing a bonnet during this interview. So you wonder, were they prepared for that? Right? Were they prepared?
Exactly. Who does that?
Right. So tonight, like, we are so excited about tonight's topic, right? With more employers turning to the virtual platform to interview and hire, it's important for us to keep up with the times, right? We're going to give you some tips and tools to attract your dream job with a professional online presence and a resume. Then we're also going to give you some tools and tips on how you rock that interview and look fabulous while you do it.
Well, that's right. And we're all hiring managers, right, ladies?
Absolutely.
Yes, we are.
That's right. So I'm sure we've all seen some crazy stuff when it comes to job applicants. I know I have. So one example is a candidate that I had come in, looked great on paper. I mean, just, was killing the interview, got to the point where, wanted to find out, well, does she have any questions for me? And basically she was like, yeah, well, I need to know what I'm gonna get paid, because I need to get paid. So I kind of paused and I said, so are we now speaking about salary requirements? And she was like, yes, because I need to get paid. And I said, well, that is an important conversation. And I didn't know if she had already had that conversation, prior to me, but that will be discussed. And then I said, well, do you have any other questions? And then she stated, yes, I need to know about vacation because I need time. I like to travel and I need time for myself. And so I paused again. I said, so now we're speaking about, our compensation package in terms of our comprehensive benefits as well. So we do have that. And, I just wanted to make sure that she understood that that is something that we'll have. But instead, I just felt like we need to just wrap this up and, I'll continue to move on with the conversation. So it was something to experience.
That's truly a turnoff when you're really trying to get to know a person and the only thing they care about is when am I going to get paid? That makes you think like, well, why are you here? Is it just for the check? Are you really going to do the job? And not so much as people asking, well, how much am I going to get paid? I've even been in interviews where people you look at them and you just say, did you come to the job interview? Or are we going to the club? Because they, and I know as ladies, we love our lashes, we love our nails, and I know I love all my glitter going on. And I know that I like a lot of big jewelry, a lot of big hair, but you do need to recognize when it's time for an interview, you got to tone it all the way down. We can't bring our true selves in our interview. So we have to take down the lashes so that the interviewer can see your eyes and not look like, and the only time you're looking is trying to figure out where your eyes, because that's distracting. You have to take down some of the makeup, take down some of the big jewelry and wear simple jewelry like I think we all have on this evening, yes. And take down your hair, make your hair a little bit more subdued. So I know we love all the finery, but when it comes to an interview, we really have to keep it really simple so the interviewer can focus on what we're saying opposed to trying to figure out what's going on with our look.
Yes, totally agree. And have experienced that as well, Lady Stacy. Another candidate came in, she was dressed to the nines, but she also had on a hat. And I was a little confused because I thought she was going to leave that hat at the door. But she proceeded to sit down and, we went on with the interview. I mean, I think it's just a matter of understanding, the type of position that you're interviewing for, the organization, is, dress etiquette. So it's a time and a place. But you know what? We are going to get these people in order tonight.
Yes, we are. We are definitely going to do that because tonight's guest is Dr. Akilah A. Bradford, and she's going to coach us through the employment process. Dr. Bradford is the founder of the HR Doc Consulting and has worked in HR for over 20 years. She's worked in various industries, including education, hospitality, publishing, fitness, city government, and has been in higher education instructor for more than 13 years. Dr. Bradford studied organizational leadership at Augusta University, where she obtained her PhD. She received her MBA and Master's of Science degree in HR Management from National Louis University and her undergraduate degree from the University of Illinois at Chicago. She is a resident of the South Side of Chicago and enjoys instructing indoor cycling classes, being a fitness coach for women, traveling, and attending concerts. Dr. Bradford, welcome and thank you so much for being with us tonight.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited.
We're excited to have you. Tell us about your business, the HR Doc.
So what I do is twofold. I serve as an off-site human resources professional for small, mid-sized businesses that can't afford a full-time human resources representative. And so in addition to that, I serve as a career coach and help everyone with their resume, cover letter, interview prep, LinkedIn profile. We go through the 9 to make sure you get the career that you're seeking.
Okay, that's good. People definitely need help with all of those skills that you mentioned. So I'm sure you are very busy when it comes to that. So tonight, all of the hosts, all of us are hiring managers, right? So when it comes to interviewing, we're interested in what tips you have for our audience and how they can put their best foot forward.
Mm-hmm. The thing is, with COVID, we've taken a shift, right? So now interviews and phone screens, everything's virtual. Everything's completely virtual. And hiring managers, because they are now put in this tough situation where we have a different applicant pool, we have individuals who are collecting unemployment, we have people who have been laid off and are transitioning to different industries. Hiring managers need to be a little creative in how they are screening candidates, which means that if you are looking for a job, you need to be creative, prepared, and all of those things as well as we, shift. And looks like we're going to be in this little predicament for a little while longer where we're in the virtual world.
Yeah, that's true. And as a hiring manager, we're looking for, we're looking at people's skill set, right? And their personalities. And sometimes, like you said, they have to be creative. Sometimes in a 30-minute window, it's very difficult for us to figure this person out or see if they'll be a good fit for our company or the team, or, so we look at different things like that. So in our next segment, Lady Maria is going to conduct a mock interview with Lady Tashar for a position that she applied for. Okay. So Dr. Bradford, we want you to give us feedback on this virtual interview and the interaction between them.
Absolutely. Let's do it.
So good afternoon, Ms. Brock. My name is Maria Thompson, and I'll be conducting your interview for the position that you applied for. So tell me a little bit about yourself.
Unmute.
I'm so sorry. I had the mute button on. Good afternoon, Maria. My name is Tashar Brock, and I've been working in project management for 9 years now. And so I'm looking for a new opportunity. And so I came to you at, wait, hold on. I'm so sorry. Keisha,
where's she going?
Terry, be quiet. I told you I had an interview.
Time out. No. I have to jump in before you all go any further. Please, we must stop this train before it crashes. When you are conducting or in a virtual interview, make sure, number one, the technology is on point. Make sure that you are unmuted and that you're not talking to us blindly. The second thing is find a quiet spot to conduct the interview. If you know you have interruptions, children, dogs, construction, whatever the case may be, then you need to make sure before your interview that you have found a quiet place to conduct the interview. There is nothing worse than being interrupted while you are in the middle of what we call the elevator speech. That's probably the most critical part of that interview is the first 5 seconds that you have. The first things you say to me is what is going to draw me in and hold my attention for the rest of the interview. And so if our first 5 seconds is interrupted, I as the interviewer, I'm like, wow, so what's the rest of the 20, 30 minutes gonna look like? So it's important that we use the time wisely. As a hiring manager, we're interviewing possibly 10, 20 people. And so you don't have much time to shine, but you need to shine. And you shine by being prepared, by having your technology ready, by having your elevator speech ready. We all know what the first question of an interview most likely is. Tell me a little bit about yourself. Have that answer prepared and make sure it's always aligned with the position you're applying for, because otherwise you're just rambling. And after 10 seconds, hiring managers will absolutely stop listening and start thinking about the 20 other things they have to do the rest of the day.
Thank you for that, Dr. Bradford. So, Tashar, what made you choose our company over others?
Well, actually, Maria, I saw that you all were hiring. So I honestly just applied. I got downsized from my job. And, I got these kids and they, with this e-learning. And at this point, I need to, they eat me out of house and home right now during COVID. And, I'm telling you, what I said, be quiet. And, it's just.
I'm going to stop you again.
I'm
sorry. What was that? Was that wine?
I'm so sorry. With this e-learning and everything, I apologize. It's just natural to have it right by me.
No. Number one, we have to maintain the utmost professionalism at all times. Have your wine after the interview. You should not, after, not during. I don't need to see it. I don't need to know that you drink during this assessment phase. I am assessing everything about you. You don't want to give me more than I need to. The kids, I'm assessing that. I'm assessing the fact that you've been unprofessional. I'm assessing the fact that you keep interrupting our precious time. No, keep it professional at all times. No, come on, save that wine for later on. Nope. But with this question, the question she asked was, what made you choose this company? And so that's your opportunity to show me that you've done your research on what my company is all about. This is your time to show me that you have put forth the effort to want to say, listen, I want to work for you. And this is what I know about your company. The reason I applied is because of this. The culture is fantastic. I read all of your reviews. The employees are happy. All of those things. It's not, because I'm looking for a job and y'all were, and no. This is the opportunity for you to shine and say, I've done my homework. I really want this job.
Okay, so Tashara, tell me about the last time something significant didn't go according to plan at work. What was your role and what was the outcome?
Well, I was a project lead on this project for 6 months. And, I just basically, I did what I needed to do in the job. I took lead and everything. I had to let them know I got this. I didn't need anyone's help. I had this down pat.
Oh, okay.
Well, excuse me, Queen, you got this. Huh? Oh, wow. That's what we're doing now. We're popping collars in the interview. No, we're not. No. This type of question is very leading. What I want to know is specifically, what have you done? So she asked, tell me about a time where you led a project. What did you do well? I want you to say, I remember a time where I was responsible for X, Y, and Z, and this is what I did, and this was the outcome. That is called the STAR method, where you discuss a specific situation, you talk about the specific task, you talk about the actions, the very specific actions you took, and the result. Often, many times, probably more than 70% of the time, interviewers are going to ask you behavioral interviewing questions. What behavioral interviewing questions are? Questions that force you to think back to a specific situation and tell us what you did. Because science says that past behavior predicts future behavior. So if I ask, tell me about a time that you had to deal with a difficult coworker who wasn't pulling their weight. Mm-hmm. What did you do? You need to really think back. You can't say, well, what I would do is, that's not what I'm asking. I'm asking you to think of a very specific time that this occurred. And you can Google behavior interviewing questions. And I always recommend to my clients that they prepare those responses in advance. There are many questions, but it's important that you become a great storyteller. I want you to tell me a story. I want to be just completely enamored by everything that you are saying when you talk about your past history. Because what I'm thinking as you're telling me your story about this situation is great. When I hire them, I know that that's what they'll do for me. And I'm looking for something very specific. So it's important that as you're answering these questions, you are anticipating my needs. You need to know what I need. So it's important that you know the job. Interviewing, it requires a lot of homework and a lot of research. It does. In order to be successful, I like candidates who know more than me. Come on in. Well, did you know that your company was written about in 2019 about da-da-da? And I'm like, hey, all right, you've done your research. I want to be impressed by the effort. People who get hired have gotten an A for effort. That's important.
Right. Thanks again. So, Tashar, describe a time when you volunteered to expand your knowledge at work as opposed to being directed to do so.
Well, Maria, I get paid to do a job. And not necessarily I haven't had time to volunteer, but you know what? I was at my last job for 9 years, and guess what? I did a damn good job.
Oh.
I perfected that job.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I get a little sensitive about that topic. I had to pull out my fan.
Oh. Wow. Yeah. You get really heated when you start dropping profanity on us. Profanity in an interview is an immediate rejection. Rejected. I've tapped out. The minute you've used profanity and lost all of your professionalism. There are a million words in the vocabulary and you chose profanity. Come on. That's like the wine. You save that until after we're done. No. The thing is often I am interviewing individuals with years of experience, many years. They may be subject matter experts and experts in whatever industry they're in. But at the end of the day, there's always something for you to learn. And I am looking to hire individuals during a pandemic that are willing to learn new things and not just want to be stuck right here. I just want to do this. I just want to do the things I've been doing the last 10 years because I am an expert. However, in the pandemic, I need people who can do many things because we don't know what tomorrow looks like. So I am looking for someone who, for this question, the question of describe a time when you volunteered to expand your knowledge. If you have 20 years, 15 years of experience, okay, you may not have that much knowledge to expand, but what you can do is say, I volunteer to mentor, I volunteer to train all of the new people, because there's a stigma. They hired somebody and made me train them. Yes, I want you to say, I volunteer to train them. And now I know that they are absolutely the best employee ever because I trained them. So those are the things. I am looking for employees who I volunteer to organize the community service events. I volunteer to train and mentor. I volunteered. I want people who are willing and able to just go above and beyond and not always think, what does that job description say? Oh, no, that's not my job description. I'm not doing that.
So, Tashar, do you have any questions for me?
No, I think this went great. When will I hear from you that I got the job?
What job? The job you're not interested in? What do you mean you don't have any questions? Interview is two ways. You're doing this, you're going back and forth. Okay, I've asked you all these questions. Now is your opportunity to interview me. And I want you to take the time to interview me. Have questions prepared in advance. Because what happens is if I ask you, okay, great, everything's great, blah, blah, blah. What questions do you have for me? And you say, no, I'm good. That's telling me you're not interested in me. My feelings are hurt. I'm sensitive. You don't want this job because you asked me nothing about the job. I gave you a little bit in the job posting. There's so much more to the job. Well, we've had this dialogue, and I've asked you a lot of questions, but you have to have questions prepared. A great question that I love is, I love asking the interviewer about themselves. Tell me about your experience. How would you describe this company culture? Why is this position open?
Yeah.
Another question is, 6 months down the line, what does success look like? What have I done well that's going to make you shine when you go to your boss? And you say, I hired this rock star, and this rock star has done this, this, and this. What are those things? Because you want to prepare yourself and tell the interviewer, I'm ready. I'm ready for success. Let me know what those things are so I can be successful. But to not ask questions at the end of an interview, this shows me you're not interested. You're not interested in me. You're not interested in the company, the position. And so I'm not interested in you.
Well, Dr. Bradford, I want to thank you for those definitely awesome interview skills and tips. Absolutely. And I want to thank you for joining us for the interview today as well, Tashara.
Now you can drink your wine.
Disclaimer, this was just today.
Oh. That was very, very interesting. Look, as a hiring manager and a person that does not have a poker face, at the beginning, I would have been just like, did she just up and talk to the kids and drink wine? Did she really just do all of that? But I think that everything that you touched on, Dr. Bradford, was very, very relevant to what she was doing wrong in the interview. And you know, some people need to hear that, need that advice. But again, yeah, my poker face would have just. Maria, you did good. You did very good.
You did good.
It was great.
That would have been challenging. Yes.
It was really hard. It was really, really hard. Especially when she picked up that glass of wine. I was confused.
Can you imagine if you would have been face to face with her? She wouldn't have had the wine, but can you imagine if you were face to face in a room and all those antics she was doing? It could have been something else, but still just a comfort level to just get up and do whatever, say whatever. How could you have focused? I would have been cracking up. Trying not to crack up.
Right.
Crazy.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes. It really was. But that was very good, and you got very good advice, Dr. Bradford.
Thank you.
Over the years, applicants have actually been getting more and more relaxed with what's appropriate for a job interview. So they come in looking crazy, inappropriate. Kind of the things we were talking about earlier with the lashes and hats and things like that. So Dr. Bradford, we want you to be a part of our next segment in what not to wear to help people out.
Yes, because club cute is not interview cute. And take it from me, I love sparkle makeup, but I wouldn't dare wear the sparkle makeup to an interview. But some people do.
Don't do it.
So wrong.
Let's see. Let's see what not to wear.
I can't wait to see what these treasures are.
Oh my goodness. Look at Lady Beverly looking super sassy for the interview.
Miss Beverly is giving all the shoulder, all the hair. She's super cute, but not interview cute. It's a lot of skin going on, and to be perfectly honest, it's just inappropriate for an interview. I always recommend to just go fully traditional, and we'll talk a little bit about the traditional interview attire, but a nice blouse, jacket, but the shoulder, no, that's a no-no for an interview. We're going to brunch.
Wait a second. Wait a minute, that's me and Lady Stacy. We look cute.
Yes, you're comfy and you're cute and you're representing Nike and you're representing, the college. However, comfy and cute, again, is not appropriate for an interview. And when I say interview, I mean a virtual interview, like here, right here. Just because you're at home does not mean it's okay to still wear sweats and come comfy and cute. You still must maintain your full professionalism, even if the interview is virtual. Cute.
Gotcha.
Woo! Woo! Now, Lady Karen is serving the face and everything else. She's like, come and get me. I'm ready for this job. But I think it's the wrong job.
That would be correct. That would be correct.
Goodness.
She's stunning. She's killing it. But what she is serving is distracting. And whenever I talk about the things you're supposed to wear or should and should not wear, always ask yourself, is what I'm wearing distracting from what I'm trying to say, the message I am trying to send? And what Madame is serving and saying, I'm not, I can't hear her. I'm hearing other things. Her words ain't one of them.
Oh,
She's going back. She's taking us back to the Me Too movement with that.
Oh,
yes, Lady Stacy.
oh my goodness. Well, wait a minute. Look at Lady Tracy. She's suited up, got a portfolio. Look like she's ready.
She is. Almost. Portfolio, check. Blazer, check. Button down professional blouse, check. Makeup, check. Hat. It's distracting. The hat is distracting. I'm focused on eye contact. I'm focused on what you're saying. And a hat gives the impression you're hiding. And
Yeah.
another thing that I like to talk about are the earrings. I'm old school. If the earrings are distracting, don't wear them. Are her earrings distracting? They could be. You know why? Because she's wearing a hat. So once I see the hat, I'm scanning everything about her to see what else I can find, right? And so it's just important to keep it at minimum. Be a minimalist.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yes.
Best route to go. Best route.
Oh, please. Now look at Lady Brenda.
She's hot. She is hot.
We're going to brunch. We're not going to an interview in this. We're going to brunch because the shirt, I believe, is see-through. Am I right? That looks sheer to me. And if we keep going, she has on flip-flops. No, again, keep it 100% professional. This is your full assessment.
And she has on jeans too, right? Does that look like jeans?
Yeah.
Yes, she does.
Nope.
Dr. Bradford, what are your advice about the nails?
Oh, our nails. I know one of you ladies earlier mentioned the eyelashes, right? And if during an interview, as I'm talking to you, and I'm talking with my hands, if your nails are distracting, it's a no-no. If you look down at your hands and say, I don't know if I should wear these to the interview, then don't.
Yeah.
Just
Dr. Bradford, even the polish, right? Because sometimes, all the designs and all those things,
Yes. Right. You can't have too much. No, we can't distract from us. We can't distract from here.
One more thing I wanted to ask you about too. It's not on this slide, but what about those textured hose that we absolutely love? You know, we love the textured pantyhose. What is your thought on textured pantyhose for an interview?
No.
It's like, yep. It's like, no.
I'm
not
just
at
going to
all.
jump out there. I'm not even going to say, well, it depends on your industry. No.
What would that industry be?
Right.
No with a period.
Okay, so all right, so Lady Moretta looks like she is dressed for the job, like hands down, head to toe. She looks great.
Absolute perfection. Perfection. This is what you wear to an interview. But but if this is her LinkedIn profile picture, we're not bathroom models.
Oh,
Oh,
no bathroom selfies. No bathroom selfies.
That's a bathroom selfie.
okay.
That cannot be your profile picture. No.
You know, everyone loves
Nope.
a bathroom selfie. That's the best selfie.
Right.
That's the
Best lighting.
No, the lighting's great, but not for her LinkedIn profile picture. The outfit for the interview, beautiful suit, nice and tailored, nice blouse, but no selfies for your LinkedIn profile picture.
Okay.
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 That's a no, right, Dr.
No. His hair is nice and neat. That's it. That's all I got for you. Everything else would be inappropriate for an interview. No t-shirts, no shorts, no flip-flops. No, not for any phase of the interview process. Not for the phone screen. Not for the interview 1, 2, 3. Not for the first day. And no, even if you are applying for a job where the attire at the job is laid back and casual, you still dress professionally for the interview.
You know, I think about that term that they always tell us, Dr. Bradford, put on your Sunday's best. You know how your grandparents used to always say, put your Sunday best on? They used to fly on the airplane with the suits on, and everything was always Sunday best.
That's right.
I love it. And that's how I would approach it. Is I always say, if I were to take a picture of you and post it on the front page of the Chicago Sun-Times and talk about your attire for an interview, would you feel good about that? Or would you be like, oh God, no, don't do that? Right.
That's right.
Yeah. Is this a before and after? This is before and after. So one is dressed for the interview and the other is dressed for errands. Perfect. Like, don't stop. But that's perfect for an interview. And the gentleman on the right is perfect for errands. A nice tailored suit. It just shows, again, the effort. You're putting forth the effort. You're showing the interviewer you want it.
Right. To Lady Stacy's point, even seasoned saints dress for the interviews.
That's right.
Look at this. Now we're talking. Now we're cooking with gas.
Hey.
This is what you wear to an interview. The first lady all the way on the left, the very traditional suit with the blouse. I even love the dress suit. Now, let me add the disclaimer about the dress suit and the length of the skirt. Make sure it's an appropriate length, taking into consideration that you may sit and your skirt will rise. So it needs to be long enough where when you're seated, there's still some coverage going on.
Very good.
In the middle, the third gentleman, of course, the classic Sunday suit. Love it. Even the older gentleman Suit, beautiful, professional, classic. I see nothing wrong there. Now, the fourth lady, what I love is that although she's not wearing a traditional suit, she's still dressed professionally for an interview. So wearing dress slacks and a nice blouse is appropriate. It does not always have to be a suit. She's fully covered. She's dressed professionally, nice heel, fitted slacks, perfect. And with the gentleman all the way on the right, he's not wearing a suit. He has on dress slacks, a nice sweater and tie. Not traditional, but still professional for an interview.
So Dr. Bradford, I have a quick question. I have a quick question for some of the younger gentlemen going on interviews. Should they always wear a tie? No. It is possible to wear a nice button down with the sweater, button down with the jacket. The thing is make sure it still looks classic and professional. So what happens is when we start to remove the traditional aspects, we get too trendy. And so for young people, I always would recommend to just get in the habit of wearing a tie. Because they may not know how not to do it professionally. Now, if you know how to do it, like my dad can kill it. He can kill a suit without a tie and it still look professional. But unless you know how to do it, stay in that traditional lane. It's always safer. But is it required? Is it necessary? No, but better safe than rejected. Yes, good point. Good point.
I have a couple other questions.
Yes.
What if some women think it's appropriate to come to an interview with their arms out, with the sleeveless something on, and or something ultra tight, again, club attire, very form-fitting dresses. What's your thought on that with the arms out and or the form-fitting dresses or skirts? You know, those that you can't hardly sit down and you're scared that it's gonna pop.
Because it will. That's the thing. Let's be honest. Arms can be distracting. They can be. Let's think about it. If you have Michelle Obama, Angela Bassett, arms, I'm distracted. If someone in fitness, I'm drooling all over your arms. If your skirt is fitted, it's drawing my attention away. Right. And again, better safe than sorry. And believe me, I am the things I am recommending are very traditional. And some people are like, well, it's 2021 and I get that. I understand that. However, you're trying to get a job. And you don't know who you're interviewing with. You may be interviewing with someone who's very traditional, right? And someone very traditional may be turned off by you being non-traditional and having your sleeves out and wearing a fitted dress. The thing is, if you're interviewing with someone who is not traditional, they're not going to be offended by your traditional wear. So you can't go wrong with traditional wear. It's just best to Google traditional interview attire
and run with it. Right.
Take your jacket off when you're done. Have your wine when you're done. All the things when you're done.
After. Right.
Dr. Bradford, what about a virtual interview? Because we're in a virtual space and a lot of people are interviewing. So not only virtual attire, but even what about a virtual background? What's your thoughts on those two things?
I am a visual person, right? And so I pay attention to the fact that three of you have pictures in your backgrounds, right? I can tell that someone is sitting in the light. I can tell when someone has a ring light. I heard dogs in the background. All of these things I am paying attention to. Because if I am interviewing 20 people and I'm writing my notes on each of the 20, you don't want to be the one that I write in my notes, dirty bathroom, or whatever the case. Make sure your background is clear. People use the virtual backgrounds, and again, some of them are overwhelming. I get that you're trying to hide what's in your background, and I prefer you do that, but make sure you are selecting one of those virtual backgrounds that's not overwhelming and distracting.
Okay. All right. So, Dr. Bradford, we have been through the interview. We've been through what we should and should not wear for interviews or virtual interviews. You've actually given us a lot of tips, a lot of helpful tips. Keep it professional. Watch your background noise, or if you have a virtual background, make sure it's not distracting. Don't wear things that are distracting. So you gave us a lot of good tips during that segment. So we have been collecting questions. So we would like to ask you a few questions to help our audience out with different things like writing their resume. So Michelle asked, she wants to know what tips you have for writing that winning resume.
We could talk about this for 3 hours.
I wish we had that time.
For winning resume, the way I like to describe it is like it's an advertisement. You're advertising you, right? It's all about you. So it should represent you. So that means it should not have any errors. It should be easy to read. It should tell me a story about your career and your career journey. It should also, and this is a big thing, should be specific to the job in which you're applying for. Right now, we have a lot of people who are unemployed and they're applying for multiple jobs. And they may be applying for jobs in different industries, client relations, sales, marketing. That's 3 different resumes. So it's important that you have a resume that is catered toward each of those different segments, those different industries that you're applying for. Don't just blindly I'm just going to send this very generic resume to 50 people. No, that's not a good look. It's not a good look.
And Dr. Bradford, I just want you to say that one more time, because there's been plenty of interviews that I've gone on. I've been reading the resumes and I'm like, what job are you applying for? This job, that job, or the other job? So I just need you to repeat that one more time.
Absolutely.
Right.
Right. And I'll walk you through my thought process. So I have 5 job openings and I have this pile, if you just visualize, a pile of resumes. I'll take that first resume. I will skim it for 15 seconds. Not even. I may say, okay. And I'll say, oh, they're going to marketing. Oh, they're going to client relations. Oh, they're a no. If you don't indicate where I'm putting your resume or what job you're applying for, it's going in the trash. It's a reject. I need to know what you want from me.
That's right.
That's what that cover letter is for. It tells me what you want from me. What do you want? Oh, I want to work for you because you're the best company ever and I have all of these great skills and I want to go into marketing. Perfect. Marketing pile. But just to blindly submit, reject.
Yep. No. And I was just about to ask you that, Dr. Bradford. You mentioned about the cover letter. So do you think that is appropriate that accompanying your resume, you should have a cover letter as well?
If they require it, absolutely. Okay. More and more people are getting out of the habit of it. But what a cover letter shows me is the effort. Because now, since more people are not sending a cover letter, I want one. I want it now. I want to see how you write.
Yes.
I want to see how you are able to articulate who you are on one sheet of paper.
Yes.
So
very good. Yeah.
Draft that cover letter.
I agree.
Dr. Bradford, what about profile, your social media? Because one of the questions that are coming in right now is employers check profiles. So can you explain the difference between your LinkedIn? Because a lot of people think that your LinkedIn profile is your professional profile, which it is. And they feel like Facebook and Instagram is their personal profile. But can you let people know how far you really should go with your personal profile and getting too personal?
It's interesting that people feel as though something in the World Wide Web is personal. There's no such thing. Your Instagram is not personal. Your Facebook is not personal. You post things so that others can see it. It is no longer personal. So if you give me, as a hiring manager, access to it, I'm going in. I want to see. I want to see the type of person. Oh, great. They like to ride bicycles. Oh, they go to happy hour 4 days out of the week. Whatever it is, if you leave your profiles open, I'm going to go and look. And so it's up to you to decide how you want to represent yourself to the World Wide Web.
That makes sense. It really does, because oftentimes what I found is companies are asking, do you have a Facebook or Instagram, or what your LinkedIn account is? Companies are doing that. But just and I know that's for the reason to check, right? But let's loop back to that resume conversation about the executive resumes, like how they should look, and what should we, what things should we put in there to promote when we're looking for that executive position?
Executive positions, that's a different ball game, because we're going from, very generic, these are the things I've done, to much more strategic. Your resume should be strategy focused. I want to know what you have done in your past companies that have improved the overall organization. I want to know about your leadership style, because when you come over here with me, you're going to have a team. We have a company culture, and I'm focused on how you as an executive will impact this culture that I have. Right. Are you going to hurt it? Are you going to strengthen it? And so it's all about your successes. What have you done? Great. You're a director of operations. You're a VP of operations. You're a VP of marketing. Great. That's a fancy title. So what can you do for this company tomorrow? What ideas, what strategies, what plans do you have in your back pocket that you have done in your past executive roles that I know as soon as I hire you, you're going to get started on it right away? I don't have time to train you. You're a VP. You're an executive. Let's go. I am hiring executives that are coming to me with a bucket full of ideas and strategies and things all ready to rock and roll. That's what I want. I want that. So whether you have 10 years, 5 years, 20 years of experience, that's great. Experience is great. But what have you executed? What initiatives have you put forth? The leadership component is critical nowadays, because we are truly focused on making employees happy, right?
Right.
And work-life balance. We've come out of this traumatic pandemic and this experience. So as we transition back into the workforce, how are you involved in employee engagement? What are you doing to make sure that your team is happy and that your team continues to come to work? How are you at making sure turnover is low? What's your leadership style? Are you hands-on? Are you a micromanager? All of those things are what we look for when we're focused on filling executive roles.
Okay.
Very good.
Someone in the chat, Dr. Bradford asked, do you have a resume template that you can send on?
I would say no, because it depends. It depends on the job. It depends. And so I like to be extremely creative in how I format a resume because everyone's different, and I try to highlight specific skill sets and competencies that that individual has. So before I, complete someone's resume, I want to get to know you. I want to know what has worked in your last job, what didn't work, where your strengths and areas of improvement. Because often what happens is people forget their successes over the years. And when it's time for them to update their resume, they've forgotten all the great things they've done in their career. So it's important that I pull that out and I format it. But, just Googling, their different formats, I look for, is this sucker easy to read? Because again, I'm scanning it for 10, 15 seconds. It needs to be easy to read. I need to be able to tell a story about you like that. Just like that.
And that's good information to know as well, especially when you said the easy to read portion. So I'm just curious in terms of, you said easy to read, but at an executive level, there's been a lot of accomplishments that you've done in terms of even the length of the resume, because you want to be able to highlight specifically what you've done well, and you want to be able to just skim through. So just what are your recommendations for that?
People ask about the length of the resume often, and I say the length of your resume should depend on the length of your career. So if you are, new to the workforce, I don't see how you would have a 2-page resume, right? You haven't been working that long. But someone who's been working 20 years, 25 years, yes, I've seen 2 and 3-page resumes, but those 2 and 3 pages were filled with valuable information. So they may have in the beginning at each job a summary of what the company does and their list of accomplishments. A summary of what the company does, the list of accomplishments. And I've come from the hospitality industry, and I've worked at numerous hotels. So I would always include how many rooms and how large the hotel is, because that's important. I worked at a Marriott with 1,000 rooms versus a small Viceroy hotel with 100 rooms. That tells a story. And so that length and including, I always say, don't put anything in your resume that will not get you the job.
Gotcha.
So if they read it, if you read it, and you're like, no, this won't get me the job, you can delete, you can chuck it. That's hard.
Would you put all of like your organizations and things like that? Would you push that over to the bio? Because it's really, it's accomplishments, but not really, all of them are not really going to get you the job.
Right. You have to be selected, and it's challenging for people to remove things from their resume. People want to hold on. I'm not taking this out. I did this.
Right. It is. It is hard.
But again, if my first glance, I say, okay, great. They worked for the city of Chicago for 15 years. Great. They worked at this corporation for 15 years. I'll put you in a yes pile. I'll come back to it and really read it. But am I reading every word?
Yeah. So this what question came from actually from us. We're talking last week, and one trend where we're noticing where younger applicants are coming to interviews with these 3-ring binders with their accomplishments. Is this now the new trend?
Somebody is teaching these kids wrong. Recruiters, hiring managers, directors of HR do not have the time and capacity to read a portfolio unless you're in a creative industry that requires me to go through your work. But if you're applying for, a corporate job, Yeah. No, kiddos, no youngins. Love you, but I'm not reading all of that. You apply for a job where 100 people applied. Am I really going to read it? What? This is so unfortunate. What I'll say is, oh my God, they're going to do too much. If I hire them and say, oh, you remember that resume that was 5 pages? They're going to do too much if we hire them. I don't know if we want to deal with that. They're going to do too much. We quickly create these stories about an applicant based off of what you send us. So don't do it. Don't do it. Don't let me create that narrative about you.
So,
Dr. Bradford, we have one final. I'm sorry. We had one final question in the chat. Let's talk about money. How are we going to? How should someone approach the topic of salary in a job interview? For example, some jobs the salary is posted and sometimes not. How do you bring it up?
This is where you have to pay attention to how the interview is going. So if you have an initial phone screen and they're just asking you basic questions, they're just trying to get a feel, see if you're interested, that may not be the time. It's up to you to determine. It's a gamble. But what I like to tell people is that, unfortunately, you do not have the power. The power lies within the person with the money. And so for me, what I do is I pay close attention in the interview. Like if I feel like this interview is going well, I think, all right, they're feeling me, I'm feeling them, this is going well, we have great rapport. They took the time to answer all of my questions at the end. I'm going to slide this salary question in there. But if it's a quick phone screen, they may or may not ask you. I wouldn't bring it up. It depends on if you have built a great rapport. Then I will not be offended if you ask me about salary, because you asking me about salary after we've had an hour-long conversation. It's a great dialogue. We've built rapport. You asking about salary shows me you're interested. And now we can discuss whether or not we can continue this conversation, or if I can't afford you, or whatever the case may be. It's difficult. It's difficult.
That's great advice, Dr. Bradford. Because I was always curious about that whole salary piece, like when is it appropriate? But ladies and gentlemen, tonight's look at the virtual view, How Employable Are You, has been awesome. We hope that everyone got something from this, some type of employment tip, what to wear, what not to wear, how to, respond or answer questions during a virtual interview, background you should have. There should be no noise. So we hope that you got something out of this, whether you're looking to change your job or not. Dr. Bradford, we truly appreciate you and thank you for here tonight. We had so much fun.
Yes.
Can you give us some parting words and tell us where we can connect with you?
Absolutely. As I mentioned with the social media, I'm all over the place, which is why I absolutely look up candidates. But you can find me on Twitter. All of my social media handles are HR Doc. I am the HR Doc. So the HR Doc for Facebook, HR Doc for Twitter, and Akila, the HR Doc for Instagram.
Okay. Thank you again so much for being with us and all that wonderful advice. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Your support and encouragement has been wonderful. As we mentioned at the top of the show, Dr. Bradford has generously donated a coaching session for a lucky survey taker. So you must leave your email address to be eligible, and we will randomly select the winner tomorrow and notify you. The survey is pinned in the chat. Thank you so much to Lady Tashar for playing the applicant role tonight. Thank you to the Women in Health and Wellness Committees working the controls behind the scene. We want to thank Lady Moretta Smith and Lady Tracy Walker Hines. We also want to thank Joseph Smith II of Graymore Photography for his work on all of our audio visuals. Thank you to my wonderful co-hosts this evening, Lady Stacy and Lady Maria. Do you all have any parting words?
I just want to say thank you, everybody who that's joined tonight. Thank you again, Dr. Bradford, for the wonderful pearls and tips. Hope this is very helpful for everyone.
Yes, Dr. Bradford, this was wonderful. And thank you, Lady Tashar, for giving us that good chuckle, even though it was meant to show you what not to do. It was a laugh well needed. So thank you, ladies.
So I want to say thank you again. Take the survey, enter your chance to win the consulting session with Dr. Bradford. The link is in the chat.
We invite you to join us for our next episode where we'll discuss the pandemic pivot. Our guest speaker for that night will be Rashid Carter, the professor of economics at Harold Washington College. This will be on April 26th, right here on Facebook and YouTube. Until next time, keep shining.
Cheers. Keep shining.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers.